back to the Transfer Daily YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you a roundup from all of the transfer market, because obviously I haven't uploaded for a few days, so I am going to be bringing you the updates from the last few days in the transfer market. So starting off with Real Betis, and Real Betis are looking for a new winger after Ase Diao joined Como from Real Betis. So Real Betis are in the market for a new right winger, and the name that they have put inquiries in over is Anthony from Manchester United. Also Olympiacos as well, after Spanish clubs are looking at Anthony as an option, and Olympiacos also have made inquiries. So the inquiries have been made. Manchester United are open to a loan deal for Anthony or a permanent deal, so let's wait and see what happens with this one with Anthony and Real Betis. Ronald ARAUJO next up, and he is expected to be in a meeting between Juventus and Barcelona in the next few days when Barcelona return to Spain, and there is supposed to be a meeting between what is going on there, because Juventus are in contact. They want Ronald ARAUJO on a loan deal and they are pushing for the signing. And ultimately, the outcome will come down to ARAUJO, but obviously Martinez for Barcelona went off last night with an injury, so that deal becomes harder to do. And ARAUJO did play minutes, but that meeting is expected, and there's been links between ARAUJO and Arsenal, and I am just going to shut that down, because Arsenal at the moment aren't looking at a new centre-back or even a new defender in January. So the priority for Arsenal, as I've said for many weeks, is a new striker for them or even a forward option. So at the moment, currently nothing there, and Juventus are the only team in contact with Barcelona over ARAUJO, no other team. So at the moment, Arsenal are not looking at a deal for Ronald ARAUJO. So next up, Manchester United and Alejandro Garnacho. So since Ruben Amorim came in, Garnacho's minutes have been reduced by Ruben Amorim due to a system issue and also an issue with the players' personality. But that seems to be brushed aside as he started yesterday, but still not really seen as one who fits the plans of Ruben Amorim. But as we know, the news got broken by David Ornstein that Manchester United will listen to offers for Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho. And Mainoo is a different story, but the club I'm going to be talking about is Atletico Madrid, and Atletico Madrid are closely monitoring the situation of Alejandro Garnacho, but understand there will be nothing going on in January. But Diego Simeone, like I've spoken about with Alan Varela before, is a big fan of Garnacho, and he could push forward for the move for Garnacho next summer. This is because for a deal for Garnacho in January is a very expensive one, but also as well it is an expensive one, because the feeling that I get is Manchester United will want around 70 million euros, which is very expensive deal. So nothing will happen in January, but Diego Simeone is a big fan of Garnacho and closely monitoring the situation. And just a quick one on Kobbie Mainoo. Manchester United are working on a new contract, and from what I've been told, it's very unlikely Mainoo gets sold at all, and the new contract is expected to be put forward very soon, and they are looking to advance on that soon. Now PSG goalkeeper Donnarumma, and he has been linked to a move with Inter Milan in recent days, and what I can say on the situation is that Donnarumma's contract runs until 2026, and at the moment there's been no progress on contract talks, and they're currently at a stall, which is the same for Nuno Mendes. So Inter Milan are closely monitoring the situation of Donnarumma, but any deal for Inter Milan at the moment is a very tough one to do for next summer if it becomes an option, and that is due to Donnarumma's wages. So for Donnarumma to return to Italy, his wages would have to drop increasingly by quite a bit for Inter Milan to sign him. And from Inter Milan's point of view as well, one of the goalkeepers, Jan Sommer or Josep Martinez, who they signed last summer, would have to leave the club. And from what I'm told at the moment, there's no clear option, but nothing concrete, just Inter Milan monitoring Donnarumma's situation. And with PSG, why the contract talks is because in recent seasons, last season, PSG believed Donnarumma's performance dropped quite a bit. So at the moment, he isn't the top of the priority for new contracts for PSG, is Donnarumma. So let's wait and see with this one. Very similar to the Garnacho situation, but we will have to wait for more updates. Now, Alberto Costa, very highly rated player by many clubs in Europe, and also moves have been made for him in January, and moves have been made from Brighton, who've had a bid accepted, but the player didn't want to move because he wanted to move to Sporting Lisbon. But now his mind has changed again because Juventus are pushing for the transfer. And Juventus have sent a package worth €50 million for the Portuguese right-back Costa. And Costa, like as I've just said, wanted to join Sporting Lisbon, but this has now changed, and now he wants to join Juventus, and he's already agreed on a 5-year deal with Juventus, and Juventus are confident they can get the deal done for Alberto Costa as a new right-back. So let's wait and see for this one. I'm expecting this one to be a done deal by the end of this week. So Juventus confident that Alberto Costa will join them after Alberto Costa wanted Sporting Lisbon, but now this has changed and he wants to join Juventus. So now Jeremy Hernandez from the Spanish football world, a big talent, many clubs interested in him, and one of these clubs is Chelsea, and Chelsea have registered interest in the player, but many clubs in Spain also have interest, so Chelsea aren't the front runners in this one, but the interest is there. Reports around a bid being sent at the moment. From what I've been told, this isn't true. It is just interest at the moment. But Chelsea's plan for if they do sign Jeremy Hernandez is to loan him out to Strasbourg. So, as we know, parent club, not a parent club, but co-owned club. So, they will loan him out to Strasbourg, as they've done with many players, and he will then join there on loan. I'm not sure for how long, but a loan deal it would be if they sign Jeremy Hernandez. But as I've just said, it's a tough deal to get done for Chelsea. Now, Ajax right-back Divine Wrench, and his contract expires at the end of the season. And at the moment, it looks very likely he will leave as a free agent in the summer of 2025. But Roma have contacted Ajax over a possible deal for Wrench. And at the moment, talks are ongoing between the two clubs. Currently, no agreement with the player, but Ajax hoping to get Wrench on a reduced fee due to him becoming a free agent next summer. So let's wait and see what goes on in this one. Wrench, obviously, at the moment, an important player for Ajax. Roma are discussing a fee around €10 million with Ajax, but it could come down to Ajax wanting to get a fee because, as I've just said, it doesn't look like he'll sign a new contract at the moment. Renato VEIGA and Borussia Dortmund. And Borussia Dortmund are pushing for the signing of Renato VEIGA. And at the moment, there is a verbal agreement in place between Renato VEIGA and Borussia Dortmund, as VEIGA wants to join Dortmund. Obviously, Chelsea have had many inquiries from clubs. Wolverhampton on loan. At the moment, Chelsea want a permanent deal, with any deal costing 20 million plus. So, Chelsea are very happy with the development, and they feel the development of VEIGA is on track at the moment. But it is VEIGA's decision, as he wants to leave Chelsea. So, if any deal happens, it will have to be 20 million plus. And at the moment, Borussia Dortmund are trying to explore their loan with an obligation to buy. So we have to wait and see with this one. It's a tough deal to get done because Chelsea think the player is a really good player and they feel like he could be a future starter for the club, but important for Renato Veiga to play week in, week out due to the fact is he wants to be a player, a regular for Portugal in the national team. So Borussia Dortmund and Veiga both have an agreement in place. So on the player side, it's practically done already, but on the club side, the formula that Chelsea want is a permanent, but the formula Dortmund are exploring is a loan with an option to buy. So let's wait and see with this one. Still a few hurdles to overcome for Dortmund, but we have to wait and see. So that is it for the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.